The 12th century. In England, the king holds absolute power. The Magna Carta is still far in the future. England's first parliament will not be convened under Henry III for another 130 years. France faces a similar situation. Absolutism is at its peak, and the first steps to weaken it are still a long way off. Meanwhile, the Slavs are establishing their first republic and a true people's government at the other end of Europe. How was this possible? We'll tell you right now. This is Slavic. Here we talk about Slavs. Let's dive in. The Krivichs and the Ilmen Slavs arrived in these lands between the 6th and 8th centuries. They began building settlements, which eventually grew into cities. Novgorod was founded in 859. It became a crucial trading hub, connecting the Baltic, Scandinavia, Byzantium, and the Arab world. The city controlled the key trade route from the Varangians to the Greeks, linking the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. This advantageous location spurred rapid development. Novgorod became the largest trading partner of the Hanseatic League, a medieval alliance of North European merchants. Naturally, the wealthy merchants' elite sought independence from princely rule. They were displeased that 2/3 of all collected taxes went to Kiev, while the remaining third was controlled by prince appointed from Kiev. A pivotal event occurred in 1136. The Novgorodians revolted against Prince Vsevolod and permanently expelled him from the city. From that moment on, Novgorodians themselves decided whom to invite as their prince and could dismiss him at any time. The Prince of Novgorod became a hired governor and military leader, receiving a salary from the city treasury. The primary governing body in Novgorod was the people's veche, a kind of assembly. Every free citizen could participate in decision-making. War, peace, princely elections, taxes, a general vote decided these matters. The veche gathered in Novgorod Sofia Square, where all executive bodies were elected. Thus, Novgorod became a unique republic in Europe. The city earned the title Lord Novgorod the Great, emphasizing that the true ruler was the city itself, not an individual. Invited princes were forbidden from owning land in Novgorod. If they showed the slightest ambition for power, they were swiftly dismissed and expelled. In 1215, Prince Mstislav refused to obey the boyars and attempted to seize power. The Novgorodians quickly convened a veche and decided to banish him from the city. In the 13th and 14th centuries, the Novgorod Republic reached the height of its power. It became the largest economic, trade, and cultural center of Eastern Europe. With vast territories rich in resources, a strategic position on trade routes, and participation in the Hanseatic League, Novgorod became one of the most prosperous cities of the Middle Ages. The Novgorod Republic's lands stretched far and wide. To the north, it reached the Barents Sea. To the west, it bordered Lithuania and the Livonian Order. To the east, its territory extended beyond the Ural Mountains into Siberia, and to the south, it faced the rising power of Moscow. The Republic covered approximately 1,500,000 square kilometers, an area comparable to France and Germany combined. Novgorod became the first republic in the Slavic world and one of the most democratic states of medieval Europe. Novgorod traded actively and successfully with Western Europe. Its primary exports included fur, wax, honey, fish, salt, linen, hemp for rope making, and timber. It imported fabrics, metals, silver, weapons, wines, glass, and jewelry. Novgorod housed Hanseatic trading posts, the most notable being the Gothic Yard, where Swedish merchants operated, and the German Yard, home to merchants from Lübeck, Bremen, and Hamburg. Swedes and Germans were particularly interested in furs, which were abundant in Novgorod's vast territories. Novgorod became the largest fur exporter in Europe. At its peak, Novgorod was one of the largest and wealthiest cities in Europe. The riverbanks were lined with dozens of piers for trading ships. Within the city, Stone houses of wealthy merchants stood, and even street lamps illuminated the roads. For its time, Novgorod had a sizable population, around 30,000 people. This was more than in many well-known cities of Western Europe. Novgorod was divided into districts and designated areas for craftsmen, merchants, and common residents. Remarkably, the population of the Novgorod Republic was highly literate for the time. Archaeologists today uncover thousands of birch bark letters written by Novgorodians, indicating that even peasants could write. In the 13th and 14th centuries, Novgorod resembled an enlightened Mediterranean republic, more than a typical Slavic principality. Silver and gold coins from Byzantium, the Arab world, and Western Europe circulated in the city. Archaeologists have found silver and gold ingots also used as currency in the Novgorod Republic. Despite lacking an authoritarian ruler, Novgorod was capable of defending itself. It had a militia composed of merchants, craftsmen, and boyar troops. In times of danger, the veche would call for an army, with each district providing its warriors. The city also hired mercenaries from Europe and the Varangians. Unlike most Slavic principalities, Novgorod successfully resisted the Mongol Golden Horde. The city was never destroyed by the Mongols. When Batu Khan's army invaded Rus in 1237 to 1240, they devastated Ryazan, Vladimir, Suzdal, Kiev, and Chernihiv, but they never reached Novgorod, getting bogged down in the region's dense forests and swamps. After these invasions, the Golden Horde did not forget Novgorod. In 1257, Berk Khan sent envoys to conduct a census for taxation. However, the Novgorod veche rejected their authority, revolting and killing several Mongol envoys. Yet, Prince Alexander Nevsky, who then ruled Novgorod, sought to avoid an open conflict with the Horde. However, unlike other Slavic lands, Novgorod never hosted a Mongol governor. The Novgorodians skillfully balanced military resistance, political diplomacy, and economic concessions to preserve their independence. They successfully avoided direct military confrontation with the Horde, preventing the destruction of the Republic. Instead of engaging in costly wars, they chose to resolve conflicts through financial means, believing that warfare would result in significantly greater losses. Novgorod demonstrated remarkable diplomacy and survival skills during the time. Taking advantage of internal conflicts within the Golden Horde, the Novgorodians periodically halted tribute payments, only to resume them later when necessary. By the mid-15th century, however, Novgorod had completely freed itself from the Khan's control. During this time, Moscow was rising in power, seeking dominance in the region. Moscow's strength grew with the support of the Mongol Khans, who made it the central collector of tribute from all Slavic lands. When Tver rebelled against the Horde, Moscow's Prince Ivan Kalita crashed the uprising with Mongol cavalry. In the latter half of the 15th century, with the help of Mongol mercenaries, Moscow began aggressively annexing neighboring Slavic lands. Prince Ivan III of Moscow decided that Novgorod too must fall under Moscow's rule. The Novgorodians resisted, raising an army and seeking alliances with Lithuania and Poland, but they received little real support and had to rely on their own strength. The balance of power was uneven. Moscow's growing military machine was unmatched in the region. Ivan III defeated the Novgorodians twice, first in 1471, then delivering the decisive blow in 1478, when Moscow's army fully conquered Novgorod. The veche bell, a symbol of the Republic's freedom, was destroyed. The boyars were exiled and many citizens were killed or forcibly relocated to Moscow. Thus, after 342 years of existence, the Novgorod Republic ceased to exist. The first Slavic democracy was destroyed and subordinated to the authoritarian rule of the Prince of Moscow. What if Novgorod had survived? Perhaps Eastern Slavs would have developed on democratic principles as a federation, avoiding centuries of centralized imperial rule. In any case, the history of Great Novgorod has shown us that the Slavs were capable of creating a true republic, one of the first in all of Europe. That people's rule was not only possible, but could also be incredibly successful even in the Middle Ages. Today we know that such a system of government led to an exceptionally high standard of living for its citizens. However, the Republic had neighbors that were too powerful, leaving it no chance for survival. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, it will help others learn about this fascinating history. There is also a link to our Patreon in the description. If you like to support the channel, it would really help us create even more content for you. And make sure to follow us on Instagram as well. Have a great day and see you in the next video.